think just my head is just more of a melodic
Mhm.
place, and I never wanted to sound like Jaco, exactly like Jaco. I never, whenever I transcribed Teen Town when it first came out, and that's just a fast bass line,
Sure, yeah.
and
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
you don't really hear the Jaco, it's melodic, but it's more when you hear Jaco play a melody like a remark you made or something,
Yeah, or
report. But with the Pat Metheny group, we were really trying to sound differently than other bands. So I was very, very aware not to sound like Jaco. And, you know, when I joined the band, Pat had just recorded, he had recorded Bright Side's
That's
Life with
life. Yeah,
Jaco.
exactly. Yeah.
And then he had recorded Watercolors with Weber,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is
Another monster. Yeah.
also one of my favorite bass players,
Yeah,
and
too.
another very beautifully melodic bass player. And I didn't want to sound like him, but I love Eberhard. I love everything about his music, his playing, his compositions, his
Yeah.
orchestration. So, I followed in the footsteps of Jaco, where when we first played with the Pat Metheny group, we were playing music from Bright Side's Life, but
Oh, really?
I didn't want to sound like Jaco. So, it was a very, very conscious effort to not try to do it. And Pat didn't want to set me to sound like Jaco.
Of
He
course.
just
Yeah.
wanted me to sound like I wanted to.
Yeah. But you had a relationship with Jaco as well, right? I mean, you studied with him, or like, what was
Yes.
your story with him? I mean, how did that begin?
I, I studied music at the University of Miami,
Yeah.
uh, and Jaco lived in Oakland Park, which is up near Fort Lauderdale, which is about 45 minutes away. So I wasn't around Jaco for 4 years when I was first there, and I started hearing about this bass player, Jaco. And he was playing with this guy named Ira Sullivan, who's a multi-instrumentalist. And he had a band with him, and I played with Ira Sullivan's other band. I was playing acoustic bass with him, and Ira kept saying, "You got to hear this bass player, Jaco, this electric player. He's a monster." And so finally we met, and we became friends, and we actually played in a big band together with two basses,
Oh
not
man.
at the same time, different
Okay.
times. He brought in
Beautiful.
his Domingo, excuse me, and he charts that he had with Wayne Cochran and the CC Riders. And then Jaco one summer was teaching at the university as adjunct faculty during the summertime, and I did take some lessons
Oh,
with him over the summer, but that was all I was doing with him. Um, and I would go see him play a lot, and it was amazing because Jaco was an innovator, and it was very amazing to be around in live situations to watch an innovator. It would be like seeing Charlie Parker or something. It's
mm,
just very, very special. And he blew it wide open. When you listen to bass now, most bass that I hear is somehow influenced by Jaco, other than people before like Chuck Rainey and James
James
Jamerson. And
Anderson. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I did know Jaco. We had a very great relationship. And later on, when the Pat Metheny group started to become popular, we used to open up for Weather Report. So it would be the Pat Metheny group, and we would play before Weather Report. And talk about
Ooh,
pressure, to go out into a huge audience and play with the Pat Metheny group, and then have Jaco come on was really a special experience, and very inspiring, as a bass player, knowing that there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people listening to you.
Yeah. But still, like two really complete voices, like you said, you didn't want to sound like him, and you actually don't. You didn't. I've never really. It's the same instrument, but you are really
Yeah.
have
But
your
Sam,
own unique personality always. I mean, like ever.
and a lot of that I sort of it's a similar analogy to the way that people speak in their voice, the
Yeah.
way they talk. It's the same. Now, someone could talk like Jaco, man, I'm the best in the world. Jaco would say these things, but um, when I listen to fretless players, I definitely hear people that are really Jaco clones, the way
Yeah.
that they play a vibrato and they approach it from above or below. And, I say to myself, why do that? you know, Jaco's done that. You know, the fretless bass is such a beautiful instrument, and it's so expressive and it's wide open to interpretation, you know. So that's the way that I approached it. I
Mhm.
wanted to make it sound my own and differently. And